Hey everybody, thanks for watching today's video. I am on my way to Lowe's because late last night I'm going through my phone, as most of us do in the evening before bed, you know, checking social media, making sure I get my Duolingo quest out of the way and done so I keep my daily streak going. And just before I turned the phone off, I realized, you know what, I haven't checked the Home Depot or Lowe's deal of the day. And so I look at Lowe's, I go to their deal of the day section of the app, and lo and behold, they have the table saw that I've been watching for what seems like ages on sale, $200 off. And without hesitation, I just went for it. In the app, purchase, I'll do the next day pickup. It's not every day that I just spend $500 willy-nilly. And so, you know, I made the decision to put on the Lowe's card and I'll figure out the rest later. The saw in question, it's the Dewalt DWE 7491RS with the little rolly stand. And I don't think I've seen the price that come this low for ages. It's ready and available for pickup, so on my way to get it. Okay, so we're on our way back from Lowe's. I'm super excited. I can't wait to dig into this thing. But, you know, the thing for me, it has three main features that my current table saw doesn't. So for context, I currently have the DWE 7480. It's a smaller work surface. It's lighter. It's relatively portable-ish, but it comes on a scissor stand, no wheels. The 7491 has three main features that I'm really looking forward to having in a table saw. One, my current saw does not do dado stack support at all. The arbor is too short. I can't fit dado blades on it. Two, the current saw that I have only has U-tracks on the work surface, not T-tracks. So getting things in and out of there is a little more cumbersome than having full support for T-tracks. And the third is that it has a wider rip fence capacity. I think the 7491 supports a 32-inch wide rip cut, if I'm not mistaken. I have a friend that has one. I've used it a few times. It is fantastic. I really love this saw. As much as I would love to have a saw stop with all of those safety features, it's just too far out of reach for my tiny shop and my, quite frankly, what budget I do have for tools. So this 7491 by Dewalt was a great upgrade in my opinion to replace what I currently have. The other thing I'll add too is I had been saving up for, honestly, a Dewalt planer for quite a while. The problem is, even if it does go on sale, I really don't have a place to put it. There's just not enough space in my current shop setup. The logic, at least in my mind when I made this purchase, was that I already have a table saw, so I can sell my current table saw to make room for the new one. In addition, the old table saw I can sell on Facebook Marketplace, and the income from that will help offset the cost of this new one. I'm really excited. I'm hoping maybe once we get it home and unloaded that I can shoot some sort of like unboxing or assembly video. We'll see, but that's kind of my plan right now. So. Hey everybody, it's Doug DeFrank here. I want to take you along on a video journey as we put together a brand new table saw that I picked up for the wood shop behind me here. I'm really excited about this one because I was lucky enough to catch it on a one-day only sale at Lowe's, and I managed to pick it up and brought it home. And so in today's video, let's jump into unboxing the thing and getting it put together. All right, so we've opened the box. Special shout out to my son who not only opened the box, but is running the camera today. So thanks, buddy, appreciate the help. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's see what we got packing material wise. Looks like there's a lot of stuff to really make sure it doesn't move around during shipping and things. I think this must be the rolling legs. That feels kind of heavy. Yep, there goes more packing material. Let's see safety equipment and wrenches. What's in here? Ah, the miter gauge.
Miter gauge. This is nice. So what are these, Dad?
Those are the wrenches to change the saw blades in the tabletop.
Oh, really? Cool.
I was hoping there'd be instructions for this. Okay, I think that's everything from the box. So now that we have all of our rolling stand parts out and spread out here on the floor, it's time to go through and refer to the manual on how to put this all together. So let's get into it. I think these go together like this. Yep, that's what it was. Now I gotta admit, reading the manual, this looks really complicated. But we're gonna try our best and see what we can get. Can you hand me that wrench? Of course, my wrench doesn't fit on this side.
A few moments later.
And for those of you out there who use imperial or metric, almost everything that I see in this assembly is metric based. A lot of this is 13 millimeter. So if you don't have one of those handy, it comes with a wrench in there, but I like to be able to have torque and leverage when putting these things together. So 13 millimeter. Okay, we got wheels. These are supposed to go in here. Yep, okay. And then, oh. So when it comes in the pack, they automatically put these lock nut washers on the ends of each bolt to try to keep everything together, which is helpful. But then when I'm trying to assemble it, it's like, oh. And it had to go under the cabinet. Also, if you don't have a telescoping magnetic thing like this, it comes in handy when your bolts roll under your cart. Now, if you are doing this by yourself and you don't have an extra set of hands helping you, I suppose some like painter's tape or something could help keep all of this in place while you try to assemble it. At this point, I'm just trying to get the lock nuts started so that things don't come falling back apart. Thank you. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, this should be the piece that keeps it upright. The next to last piece here we have is the handle. There's this piece of plastic that goes over it, and then these bolts go down through. And just like we did before, put them on just enough that they don't fall back out. Again, you could probably use a piece of tape here or something to help secure everything so that all the bolts don't fall back out. At least in this area, there's room to work. Again, as mentioned earlier, more 13mm sockets or lock nuts. Okay, my friends, now we have the assembled rolling stand for the saw. I think the trickiest part now is going to be to get the big saw over here attached and bolted safely to the stand. So this next step is a bit tricky. We have a fully assembled rolling cart and a table saw that is pretty much fresh out of the box. What's great about the table saw being in this state, there's nothing protruding from the tabletop, right? The blade is down inside, and even the guide is still tucked underneath. We haven't set that into position. According to the instructions, they say actually flip the table saw on its tabletop, basically upside down, and then bring the cart on top of it to match up the holes. If we did it the opposite way, extending the legs, put the cart down, and then bring the table saw on top, you have all this heavy weight that could shift or slide off of the rolling cart. So we're gonna follow what the instructions say, flip this over, and try to mount this kind of in an upside down state, but then flip everything over. Again, you see this piece of plywood here. I have this down to prevent my brand new table saw from getting scratched up on the concrete floor here. So, you know, if you don't have spare wood at home, you know, feel free to use some of the cardboard from the box, you know, piece of leftover carpet, whatever you have, so that you're not scratching this thing around on the, you know, the hard surface. So we'll just get into it and get this flipped over like so. And then, get our roll cage and the bolts needed to try and mount this thing. Also, I guess I should point out too, this, you can buy this separate from Dewalt, and it can go on some of the older saws like the DW745, the DWE 7480, 7485. They have mounting instructions in the booklet to mount this saw stand to your saw. One thing I did not see is which way is the front. So it looks like the wheels should be facing the power switch. Oops. So the wheels should be over here. And then there's a set of 4 holes to try to line up. Stay. I'm not sure if there's a specific way the bolt should go. It looks like in the manual, the head of the bolt will end up on the bottom with the lock nut facing up when we're all done. Not sure that it matters, the orientation, but I imagine that the only reason I could guess they do it that way is so that, like, if you have, there's like a hex head in the bolt. If you have this facing up and it gets filled with sawdust and other oils from the wood that maybe it could fill up and now you can't undo it. So that's why I'm leaving that screw head facing, it's up now, but it'll be facing down once we're fully assembled here. So that's what it shows in the instructions, so that's what we're going with here. And then this could take a few minutes to go ahead and fully assemble. I think I'm going to actually use the key that they gave me, but still use my wrench. So you have four bolts to attach the saw frame to the cart frame. Now here I need a wrench because my socket, my ratchets won't fit in the space behind this plastic panel. So I have to kind of do this the manual way. All right, we got the 4 bolts in. The saw is now mounted to the cage, so I believe we should just be able to lean this back, tilt up, get this piece of wood out of the way. Oh man, so easy to get around with the wheels now. So there you have it. That's kind of the saw put together. You can fold these legs down, pinch, fold these up. Everything's pretty much locked into place. And then you pivot back on those legs. And now you're ready to work. So I still got to get the fence here flipped around so that it's facing the proper way. But for the most part, that's it. We got the table saw mounted to the saw cart, so it'll be much easier to get in and out. As I mentioned in my intro video when I started, making this pivot towards doing more woodworking content, the whole goal of my shop is to have everything on wheels so that when the cars are pulled out, I have more room to work. I can easily scoot my bench or my work tables out into the open and have more room to kind of spread around, so I'm not stuck working in like a corner or something. All right, so one of the last things I want to do is take care of attaching the table saw fence up to the top. For shipping purposes and I guess overall storage, they keep the fence tucked here underneath. I did not know this was a feature for storage, but it pops down like this. This particular saw has a couple of these little adjustable studs. You kind of hook it in the front and back, and then tilt this down, lock, and now you can slide back and forth with your rack and pinion bits here, and there's even a built-in ruler to kind of show where you're at. That pretty much wraps everything up. I really appreciate everyone tuning in and watching the video. If you like this content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to follow along for any new videos or episodes we put out. And really appreciate everyone watching. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.